Hi Capricorn, welcome to your reading. We already have some cards that are popping out. But as I was saying, if you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you hear the messages within this video, just depends on whenever you find it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Cancer and Capricorn on Thursdays. The deck that I'm using today is called the Ludy Lescott Tarot, and that's L-U-D-Y-L-E-S-C-O-T. Also, some of the cards like to flip around in the deck sometimes while I'm shuffling. Usually I won't take them unless they jump out like these cards have. And my goal is to get you 8 cards and we can get started on your reading. So I'm just going to try to pull 2 more cards. Heads up though, sometimes we have an extra jumper. That's okay. Usually if it's too big of a group, I'll put them back. But it usually just depends on whatever the energy is like. Alright, you guys, so just as a reminder, if you like the video, leave a like or a comment. It really helps out the channel, and I like to know if it resonates. But your overall energy is the soulmate card. You have the 2 of Cups here as your overall energy. So that tells me right now that you guys are in a very powerful time of your life, especially since you have this 10 of the major arcana, the Wheel of Fortune. Right? But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. With the two of Cups, I definitely can tell that you guys are dealing with heavy soulmate energy, because the 2 of Cups usually only really appears if you guys are dealing in a romantic sense with somebody who matches you energetically. I'm looking at the symbolism of this couple here, and you know, the symbolism of the bed is not lost. Many of these cards are sexually charged, and this one is no exception. But they're almost in total sync, right? You look at them and they're doing the same action while pouring water from one cup into another. And it almost feels as if they're mirroring each other. And it's a little hard to tell, but in this card, this woman has a pendant or a medallion of some kind on the necklace, and it's 2 snakes that are coiling up against each other, and they're mirrored, right? So I feel like you guys right now are dealing with somebody that you look at and you're sort of dumbfounded, I feel sometimes, just at how similar they are to you. And I feel like a lot of times you sort of like really understand this person, and you like go to say something or to do something, and you kind of already know how they're going to respond just because they're so much like you. But it's very interesting, right? Because you have the Queen of Wands here in reverse. Now, the Queen of Wands is very passionate. She's a go-getter. She's very driven. She's warm. She's kind. She's very passionate. She can also represent fire signs, right? So the fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Now, the fact that this is in reverse leads me to believe not necessarily that these people or that your person is lacking these qualities so much as they don't necessarily feel in their element right now. It almost feels like you guys are dealing with a fire sign. That's coming out very strong, and they're feeling a little bit out of whack, to be honest. I feel like in the past they had gone into this Virgo and energy, right? Sorry, the Hermit card here. Hermit card is the card of Virgo, right? So that's some extra confirmation for you guys if you're dealing with a Virgo. But what I'm saying is that they were in this sort of energy of where they weren't saying anything and they didn't want to say anything. But I feel like you're sort of going to move out of this energy, or at least they are. I feel like they're trying to come out of that, and they're going to be a lot more talkative. They're going to be a lot more they're going to have like a spring in their step, I feel like as of late they've been sort of stressed, and very very quiet, stressed, and just all around not having a good time, I hear. And like the choice of words that I just used, draws my attention, because it almost feels as if like you perceive this person to be a really good time, like they're really fun at parties, or they're just like always laughing or whatever, and lately they've just been really quiet and really weird, and it's been difficult for you. But I feel like for you guys a lot of the same is happening, right? Because you have the Queen of Pentacles here, and the Queen of Pentacles is the card of, also, okay, so I'm looking at my timer on the clock, or rather I looked at it and it was 555, so you guys might be seeing synchronicities as well. But like I was saying, the Queen of Pentacles talks about earth signs such as yourselves, right? That's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So for some of you, this might actually be a same-sex connection or relationship, because you have the two queens, but I feel like more than just like that and gender identity, it just like you both are in your sort of more evolved energy. You more so than your person, I feel. I feel like your person maybe has been trying to get there, but hasn't quite yet. And I feel like you've been there for a while. Like, it's just through like experience. I feel like you guys have been through a lot. And I feel like you in particular have been through some really like rough relationships here, because you have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords talks about feeling trapped. And I feel like that comes as a result of you guys having had dealt with so much, I really want to say the word shit in the past. And it's really interesting because that's not really a word I say often in the videos, but it's really coming out. Like, you've had a shitty past, you've had shitty relationships, and you're done dealing with the shit, right? And with this Eight of Swords, I feel like that's how you guys feel. Like, there's a level of freedom that's coming now, like, and I feel like it might be a little bit intimidating, but there's a lot of strong changes here, and I feel it. I feel like for some of you, even, you might be experiencing some other changes that have like changed the game here. Like, I'm getting that for some of you, you may have moved up in jobs, and suddenly that gives you more time to, more like downtime to talk to this person or whatever. But I'm looking at this 10 of the major arcana, right? The Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune talks about divine timing and sort of like karmic changes. And it's very interesting that usually the Wheel of Fortune is just that, a wheel. So it has an upswing and a downswing, but in this one it looks like, for one, more sexually charged energy, so I feel like you guys might be having a very physical relationship with this person, but it almost looks like a portal. Well, that's what it is, actually. It's a portal to sort of like another dimension, but I feel like that might be you guys sort of communicating with your higher selves, or lack thereof. I feel like some of you have been receiving messages, but it's a little bit hard to sort of trust that in yourself. But I'm definitely getting that there's some level of like, do I trust these messages? Do I not? Right? Because there's this Two of Swords, and I feel like the Two of Swords is sort of on both ends for both of you guys. I feel like both of you guys are in a point where it's like, well, do I trust my intuition? Do I move forward with this person? Do I not? And I feel like if you were just to listen, you'd see here that you have the Two of Swords, or the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is some super strong love, right? But I feel like there's been issues because there's the Queen of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, right? And, well, the Queen of Swords usually, like, in the upright doesn't have to be a bad card, but, or, okay, because she's smart, she's business-minded, she's calculating, she knows how to be logical and how to make good decisions. But in the reverse, I feel like it's a lot of the opposite, right? So she's hurt, she's vindictive, she's petty, she's out to hurt you with your words. She's a little paranoid. But I think more than that, she's immature in the way she communicates, and she hurts people for just because she acts too hastily or too rash. I don't know why, but I just got like the picture of a supermarket. So you guys might mean something to someone, but regardless, I feel like this Queen of Swords has, if it wasn't you, it was them. But there was definitely a Queen of Swords, and I feel like it's connected to this Virgoan energy here with the Hermit. I keep saying Virgo, but I mean the Hermit, with this energy of going within and not really communicating. And that's why this Five of Cups is here, because somebody was shut out. Somebody was sort of, if they're still like, one of two things happened here. Either there is no longer any communication, or there's little to no communication. And if there is communication, it's not very passionate. It's not very, not very like loving. It's just kind of dry and stale and sort of going through the motions. But I really do feel that that's going to change, because you're sort of opening this portal, and it almost feels like you're opening a side of them that they didn't really know before. And whatever this is that's being a pain in your side, it's coming to an end, right? I'm almost reading this reading from like, I know that I interpreted the cards this way, but it almost feels like it goes this way, right? So you have this action in the past, which was immature and painful, and then that led to this energy of feeling left out in the cold. But now there's this change with this divine timing that's getting rid of this indecision. You're over here feeling free and rejuvenated, and then they're over here coming out of this period of silence. So overall, I'm seeing a lot of good things for you guys, Capricorns. But that was your reading for this time around, and if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Capricorn videos on Thursdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless videos that I have up on the channel. And with that, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.